Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the most OP Vex Leveling Build in Borderlands 4. This is a Dead Ringer build and it's extremely powerful because we can get the ability to basically make our summons last forever. This is through using the Dark Pact, the Hellish Harvest, and the Coven abilities here. I also think the Phase Familiar is pretty strong, but from testing these two and comparing them heavily, the Phase Familiar is not as strong as the Dead Ringer here. I also noticed a typo in the game. If you see the maximum health capacity there at the very bottom, it says doesn't have health typed properly. The two best that we actually want to start with is either the Cold Iron, which gives you a plus 15% damage and your minions will deal additional gun damage. Be mindful the Reaper doesn't get this. Or going with the Sanguine Friends. Now, we want to have our Reaper and our Spectre there on the stage as much as possible, so Sanguine Friends is the best choice, giving us 20% health restored every time we kill an enemy, which is actually really good. This allows them to stay around pretty much indefinitely, with some of the other skills here. So Coven, which is a very powerful one, because whenever we spawn in a Reaper, we're going to have health regeneration for a duration here, which can last up to 20 seconds, recovering our health. This is great because this allows us our minions to be able to heal themselves too every time we summon in another Reaper. And there's actually a lot of skills that lets us summon in Reapers. Now, I like the Curse Blade. I just don't think it works well. This will increase the damage they take, but I think for the best one here, it's either the Grave Assault here, which can increase your fire speed quite a bit every time you take out an enemy. But I personally prefer the Portents of Suffering, so this will increase your status effect damage. This is important because we are really good at applying statuses because we can summon in different specters of different elements and cover a bunch of different bases. Now, the Blood Sacrifice, I've been trying this. This will activate the kill skills whenever your minions die, and we want them not to die. So actually skipping this time around, I thought it's good earlier on in the game, so you can take it. What this means is any of the skills here, like Grave Assault is a kill skill, Sanguine Friends, so if your minions die, you'll recover 20% health. This can be good, but I don't think it's worth the 1 point that it costs when we have things like this with a kill skill, increasing our overall damage. And where this really succeeds is it's total damage. So the Reaper benefits from it, and the Spectre. It's not like the other one here, which increases minion gun damage. It's total minion damage. Now, this one can increase your action skill cooldown rate, which is actually really good too, because we want to have as many of these summons up as possible. It just depends. Damage dealt, which can very highly increase your overall damage. As you can see there, we got 12.5, and you can get 3 stacks of this, very highly increasing our overall damage. I like the action skill cooldown too, but once we get to here, we're actually going to want to go into, we're going to first take the Hellish Harvest here, which this will change our skill over here, which what it does is whenever we summon in Reapers, they get the ability to do Hellish Harvest, which will heal themselves. So it regenerates health for time, and it does a huge area of effect. You're going to see them do like a yellow attack. This is great because it can actually shred through enemies, but it's going to regenerate their health per hit. So they can actually do a shredding attack, hit multiple targets, and basically get their full health back. This is great. We're not going to continue into this skill tree, though. I actually think it's best to continue into this one. I also have a weapon mod, which is giving me these 3 here. The Obedient Friends is okay, which will increase your minions' damage, but it's actually probably best to go with the Prismatic Weaponry. You deal bonus damage with gun critical hits, which you want to aim for critical hits in this game. That's kind of the whole point of it. The bonus damage is a random elemental type that changes on reload. Bonus damage is further increased for each active attunement skill. So yeah, this damage can get pretty crazy. You see here, we now have 36% bonus damage and plus 50 per attunement skill. Now, if you're wondering what attunement skill means, basically, when you summon in one of your Dead Ringers, depending on the elemental damage type you get a different attunement benefit. So, like Kinetic gives you lifesteal, so you can heal yourself back. And yeah, every time you summon this in, you're going to get this nice boost. Now, once we get past the Prismatic Weaponry, I have the skill tree here that's giving us these 2 here. But I actually think it's best to take one single stack and the Death Falls closer. Whenever you get low health, this spawns a Reaper, which is actually really good because when we spawn these, this actually gives us some of our extra benefits here. On top of it, we can do this every 120 seconds. So every 2 minutes when you get low health, this is actually probably best. I wouldn't recommend putting more points into it. And then we have between Spirit Bomb and Ancient Rites. Now, Ancient Rites is actually really good because you gain a stack of Ancient Rites for every active minion, every second increase in the minion damage. So you have to have minions out pretty much at all times, but you're going to get a plus 1% minion damage per stack once you have this up to 5. You don't have to put points into this, but this will actually greatly boost their overall damage, and it's actually crazy how high that gets. But Spirit Bomb is great because we want our Reapers having as much health as possible. So the Reapers will gain the maximum health capacity and will release a Spirit Bomb, not like Goku, dealing damage to their elemental type. This is going to increase their health quite a bit, and I'd recommend actually speccing as many points as possible into this. So we have our 3 there. It gives them 60% more health, which is huge because this makes them last a lot longer, and their Spirit Bomb damage is huge, 1,000 damage. We'll put our last point into the Ancient Rites here, giving us 1% minion damage per stack, and then we can take our Dark Pact. Now, what's great about this is it actually allows you to take 2 of our augments here. This is the only one that lets you take 2, but it does something else. Now, I want to mention Coven is going to be the best attunement here because with the Hellish Harvest, our Reapers are going to continually keep healing themselves. And when we summon in more Reapers, they're going to heal themselves. And then we also, when we get low on health, we heal ourselves because we summon in a Reaper. So this is just going to continuously keep healing you and your Reapers. Using their Hellish Harvest, they're going to heal themselves, keep themselves pretty much unkillable. So these 2 skills, just keep summoning in Reapers. I like the Spectres if you can find a good position for them, but I find more bang for your buck comes from the Reapers in all honesty. But from the Dark Pact, this is really good. Dark Pact allows you to press F while a minion is active to fully restore health of all phase clones, as well as granting increased movement speed and attack speed, which is just amazing. You just need the heal. The heal is really good. Phase clones do not lose their health over time while Dark Pact is active, and health loss is reset when Dark Pact ends. When it resets it, that just means that because they lose an ever-increasing amount of health and they can keep healing themselves up, the Reapers will continually, but you'll see their health bars start declining really, really fast. Now, utilizing this, it basically just refreshes it. It has a cooldown of 42 seconds, which is actually pretty good because the duration's 12 seconds, so you can keep them invulnerable, and then they're going to reset their healing over time, so that keeps them alive even longer. This is actually really crazy and worth taking. For the next point, go with the Dynaire here. This just gives you an extra Reaper clone. We want to use the Reapers as much as possible. You can also grab some more minion max health capacity. I just think the Sanguine Friends works a little bit better here. And you can even go into the other skill trees, like Recurrence here will increase your overall gun damage and melee damage, which is actually pretty crazy because it impacts both of your teammates. And you can have 50 stacks of this, so you and your minions can deal quite a bit of damage utilizing this. As far as class mods go, you want to find ones that give you bonuses like this. This will make your Spectres and Reapers have a chance to become a badass, which is crazy. It increases their overall maximum health and damage dealt, and this will happen every 90 seconds. So yeah, you're going to have a lot of badass Reapers going around doing a ton of damage. This also gives a bunch of different skill points there, as you can see, and minus 20% phase clone health loss over time. This allows them to stay on the battlefield a lot longer. The maximum shield capacity is nice too. This gives us more staying power too, but yeah, this is the best one we can get for this build, and you can find this. It's a random drop, but it's very, very useful. Different skills are also going to be applied to it, so it just depends. But I also like to have a shield that has a high capacity here. It's really up to you what you're going to roll with for shields, because again, it's all random. Just grab the best available. But grenades are really important because you want to have one that has the pulling augment. So I actually used a level 6 grenade for most of the game because it had 3 charges of the pulling augment. Each grenade spawns a singularity, which will pull enemies in and rope them around. Why is this so good? Well, your Spectres get free shots whenever the enemies are flying around. They're not damaging your Spectres or Reapers either, so your minions stay alive longer, and it just lines your Reapers up for easy attacks as well. So I highly recommend grabbing this one because it throws all enemies around. Your Reapers go in and get their health back. Very effective. Just take whatever you can find for that. And also heal, really just use your best available heal. This one gives me shield, which I think works really well. Now for weapons, you always want to have as many of your bases covered as possible. I got a few different fire weapons, just depends where you're at. Always have fire, shock, and corrosive. You want to have all 3 of those at all times. Even if you just leave it in your backpack, you want to have those types of damage because they just bring so much more to the battlefield. Depending if you're going against fire, shields, or if you're going against health bar, shields, or armor, you swap out and bring the right weapon here. It's just, again, random drops, so take what you can. And for your skill deck or storage deck upgrade, honestly, submachine guns are probably going to be your best friend. Malawan submachine guns in particular. Assault rifles can be good too if you can find an elemental one, or pistols too. It just really depends on the gear that you're finding. Now, as far as combat goes and putting it all together, we want to have our Reapers out first. And I would recommend putting the Reaper first because this is going to give you the badass one, which is going to do an increased amount of damage. Put a Spectre in a good spot that's able to get its shots off at the enemy without getting too much damage itself. So don't throw it right in front of the back lines here. Don't put it anywhere near enemies because the Spectre is really squishy. The Reaper is going to last forever, and you can bring in a second Reaper. I found running with 2 Reapers actually worked best, and you're going to see here the grenade that pulls everyone in is great because the Reapers just get those easy free attacks in on enemies. We basically don't have to worry too much about anything here because our Reapers are just going around shredding. This is nice too because they'll actually show you where enemies are at, so you don't have to worry too much about finding enemies. They're going to go find them for you. So if there's an enemy up high that's flying around, they're just going to go up there and go right at them. So the spectres can provide cover fire from behind, which is nice too. And then when they're low on health, you can press and hold F key, which is going to replenish their health, as you can see there, and then they refresh their timeline. So this means that they're going to last in the battlefield longer, and you're likely going to get your kill skill back so that you can summon in more Reapers, and then you can continually just keep summoning in Reapers. And then the skill there, you see, once the 12-second duration goes over, you then get it back here. So it does refresh the skill tree, or it does refresh after 12 seconds. But yeah, I find that this is great because it gives them a lot longer livelihood, and they just need to get in and go do their melee attacks. That's how they stay alive, is using that hellish cleave there. When you see that big cleaving attack, and then you can continually keep summoning in more Reapers. I find that the Reapers just do a really good job. Obviously, swap around different damage types. I'm just using corrosive for the simplicity of it. But throwing those grenades around, that's going to haul the enemies together so that they can get their attacks in easily, just makes this work together. You can see there, they're just flying around, giving our Reapers a really good chance. And we actually have 2 badass Reapers there. Yeah, they'll just go around. You can actually kind of play AFK almost, because your Reapers are just going to go around destroying absolutely everything. So that is the most OP leveling build for Vex in Borderlands 4. Let me know what content you would like to see next. We got our awesome Reaper gang there. And yeah, have a great day. We'll catch y'all in the next one. Subscribe if you haven't already.